It is, what was it? It was ORKS GP NUMELOPS, right?
ORKS GP NUMELOPS win in
ORKS
map
GP
7,
NUMELOPS
exactly.
win 4-3, exactly. So there is still a world for Sprout in which
that
they
is
get
the
4th
meme
seed.
outcome from this match. That is the wildly unlikely one that would be very... It's look, ultimately, I don't think it actually makes a difference, right? Because 4th place plays 5th place.
No, 4th place plays... Oh, yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, no, it really doesn't make a difference at all,
To swap in those positions, not a big deal. If ORKS GP NUMELOPS manage to win by, like, you know...
But still...
2 points or 2 maps. If they win in map 6 and come 4th, then Sprout come 5th. Yeah.
There's bragging rights to being in the top 4 of the league, surely. I feel like that's at the very least there's something there. Especially, yeah, you're definitely bragging rights when it's completely out of your hands.
Yeah,
either way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, it is, important, obviously. I mean, both teams are going to want to just not be in 6th. I think that is that's the main takeaway for this one. And obviously, there's really no situation in which that is a massive issue. Basically, the best scenario, if these two teams want to help each other out, is EXALTY winning 4-3.
Yeah, and I mean, look, even then, it's BS Plus competition sitting in 3rd, and I don't think any of these 3 teams should feel that they have no chance against BS Plus competition. I think our first round of playoffs is going to be very exciting when we do get there too, because BS Plus competition during the regular season, they did beat EXALTY, they did beat Sprout, but they lost to EXALTY, they lost to Sprout, and they beat ORKS GP NUMELOPS. So that 3rd versus 6th place battle is still going to be a very exciting one when we get there.
Yeah, well, let's savor this as much as we can going on through our final match of the regular season here. We're starting things off with Sinus.
Yeah, players love it.
Apparently.
I don't know what happened. I'd love to get a chat with one of the players at some point and figure out what exactly did happen here in 7, or if any players are currently lurking watching the broadcast, can you please let us know in Twitch chat what has happened between PLAYDAY 5 and then these PLAYDAY 6 and 7s that has led to this explosion in the popularity of Sinus. I'm not going to complain. It's led to some very exciting rounds so far. We're seeing massive improvements as well. Dexter getting within a couple of tenths of the world record on our last match, and honestly, he was Feed putting times up that were pretty close to that as well previously. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's EXALTY versus ORKS GP NUMELOPS. Let's get things going.
Yeah, fair play to EXALTY as well for picking this map once again after getting beaten by Sprout on it quite convincingly. And, this is technically a team, ORKS GP NUMELOPS, which also have a very good rate on this map. 1 out of 1 times they've won it. Not insanely one-sided in that game, but they have good times. In fact, their best time is only 5,000ths away from the best time of EXALTY. So, it shows at the very least that they're not off-put by Sprout's victory against them here.
They have not been, and it's going to be close between the cars heading into this first part. 2 clear battles have emerged as Panda takes on miQuattro up front and Complex takes on Link towards the back. And I don't know, I reckon we could see that one play out a few more times, and it is going to be the mistake coming through from Panda. Complex and Link regain. Link looked very good the first time we visited this map, but he cannot get the wheels straightened out, cannot find grip before the checkpoint, and full crashes, and we could be on for a draw in this first round. miQuattro releasing a lot to go up these, making sure he won't slide out. We'll get across the line. Complex and Panda follow, and it is going to be a draw in our first round.
Yeah, it's a convincing time to start things off, 102.3, but obviously if your teammate is down in 4th position, doesn't account for much. So a draw to start things off, and I think that is indicative of the skill of the two teams on this map. I think both of them are very evenly matched here.
Yeah. Hopefully. I'm looking forward to a close... I'd love a close match. I would actually love to go to that map 7, not just because of the storyline with Sprout and how things might shake out for the postseason, but also just... we haven't had many very close matches over the last few days, and I would love to send off the season with a real battle, a real knockdown, drag-out fight for this spot going into playoffs as well. And so far, the players are starting to look like they might deliver it, as Panda, miQuattro, and Complex all within a couple of tenths of each other. Complex won't slide out, Panda will, and miQuattro and Link hold first and second. It's not by much.
Yeah, not whatsoever. McQuattro and Link just trying to take this one away. Obviously, their map pick, they want to make sure that Orcs keeping NuMeLOPS aren't getting an an advantage that EXALTY wouldn't like going forward here. McQuattro, as usual, playing it fast. This may be a low 102 here, if not a 101. Very nice 102.185. Not quite going to improve on his PB here, as far as I'm aware, but still getting what he needed for Link to come home in third and manage to get them some points on the board. By the way, if you were confused by what we were talking about with the with the one-sided stuff, yeah, we have seen 29 maps over the course of the last 7 games. That is seven. Sorry, yeah, that's 6 4-0s, 6 4-0s, and 1 4-1.
It's really silly. It's been a bit silly. It's been pretty quick. They've saved our voices at the very least, Twiggy.
Yeah.
Is maybe the nice way of looking at it there. EXALTY move up to a 1-point lead. They hold on to first place at the moment, and we are looking... My eyes are on Link. Link was looking really good again before Feed just became the guy for a little while there on that previous match. Link was looking very quick still, was setting continual low 102.3s or so, and has not rediscovered that form just yet. But this is a close round. All 4 players very close, within a car length of each other. Complex and Panda go much higher on the exit from this. Panda gets very close to the signs on the outside, but will manage to find grip in time. And it's first and second for GP NuMeLOPS heading to the identity.
It's looking good as well. In fact, Complex is on for a really nice time. No. Not anymore, he is not. It's fine. His teammate will come home in first place to get it done. Complex, hey, no. We've seen so many, like, close to wicked things.
He's going for
hold on. Oh, come on, guys. 3 times.
That is deliberate. Like, that was fully deliberate. He was so far to the right of that beam. You cannot tell me he was not actively trying to hit that.
I think, yeah, no, I think the players have created a union, not for any, not for any, like, nothing boring. They just want to try and get wicked points, or at the very least stop us from giving them wicked points.
Specifically though, like, it's that jump. Someone wants to be the person to hit that jump.
Yeah,
like
someone wants to get a direct 360 into the finish.
Yeah. And it will.
We've seen a good one from Link already. That was one of the first wicked points we actually gave out, where they did a 360 in the air and landed on the final platform and then drove into the finish line. We have not seen a full direct finish.
Yeah. Hopefully yet to come in this match. We still have plenty of time. These draws are prolonging the lifespan of this first map here as well. Panda will lose the gear and just fully stop in the middle of the road. Complex is just in front of Link. McQuattro is behind by about half a second, but this is the battle for first place at the moment. Complex quicker than Link into the uphill, has the lines, is very close to falling off, and Link will spin through the air after the finish line, and it's another draw.
Another draw coming on through. EXALTY keep that lead. They could have had a slightly larger lead there if Link just had a little more speed heading into the identity. McQuattro, Complex fully risked that one, and it worked out. Yeah.
Trident's finish on the easy version of this map. Insane. Absolutely.
Did you actually just watch that clip in the middle of...
I absolutely did just watch that clip.
Okay, fine. I'm going to do it.
It was worth it. All right, here we go. As EXALTY still 1 point ahead at the moment. And Link and McQuattro will look to move that a little bit further ahead. Complex has first place for the moment, though. A little bit of work to be done there. I think we know that Twiggy just saw that clip too. Damn. As Link and McQuattro will manage to get past Complex for the moment. McQuattro, no, is still behind, still in third place, but is entering with heat into the ice turn here, and we'll swap places. It's McQuattro and Link just completely swapping from first to third. Complex still sits in second, but is a sandwich in the different order as Complex will spin out. He's not in second anymore.
Having a picnic over there at the side. I also enjoyed earlier on seeing Panda's name tag flash across the screen as he respawned.
I do really like that bit as they go sideways across in front when they're behind. Oh no!
Finish from behind, nice one, Link. But also Complex and Panda just zooming passes. Oh, beautiful. This, I think this map is one of my favorite, just for the way the identity has presented itself live. It's so good.
Just the 2 cars going past, just whoop whoop, and then just finishing from
I think Link actually
gets
a point for that, by the way, because he did finish.
Yeah, no notes, perfect round. Honestly, let's go again. It's another draw. We talked about how Sprout were kind of looking very draw heavy in general, getting a lot of those first and fourths. This has been much more split between the two teams as to which team is getting the first and fourth, which team is getting the second and third. MiQuattro is in fourth place, and I'll say it, I think he's probably picking up the fourth in this round because that was a heavy crash.
Yeah, indeed.
He's not that far behind, actually.
No, not really. Panda has been, teasing first place for a long time here. Been one of the fastest players throughout most of the sections of the map. Just made a lot of mistakes that have sent him back down into fourth position, third position, something like that. This time around, splits are looking real good, up in first position. In fact, this may be on track now. It's not an insane time, looking like it's probably going to be a 0.4. Never mind, it's not even going to get to the finish line. Unbelievable. An ace from EXALTY out of absolutely nowhere. Oh, God, what is happening? Oh, ORKS keeping NUMELOPS having a difficult time on this identity.
Yep, that's not gone well for them. They were very much on for the ace. They've given one up instead. EXALTY on 9 on their map pick, the 4-point buffer. This is exactly how a lot of matches played out for Sprout in that, or a lot of maps played out for Sprout in that last match. Draw, 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 draw. Ace were 4-point ahead, close it out easily.
The other thing, indeed, yeah. Well, let's see. Can ORKS NUMELOPS just clean it up? I mean, they're not a slower team than EXALTY. They've just made more mistakes. They've just made more mistakes so far. As, Panda stays in first position. Once again, seems to be the quickest player pre-identity, apart from the mistakes that he's been making.
Yep, the identity causing issues, as it is designed to do, and we will see if ORKS NUMELOPS can get this counter race back in the other direction, as they are looking very quick pre-identity at the moment. MiQuattro, though, is very quick on this ice turn, catching right back up with Complex, who's going to get close to the checkpoint. Panda has slid out a little bit, but that means he's closer to the inside going. He may hit that sign on the way through. We will see when he gets to that checkpoint. He is 2 tenths down, but it really comes down to how much speed he's managed to carry into that section, whether or not he could even speed drift on his way through. MiQuattro is quick. MiQuattro is quick, is not quick enough, gets to within 33 thousandths. But it's a round win for ORKS NUMELOPS. It's not enough as EXALTY close things out. Yeah,
I was going to say, I was a little scared there for Complex as well. He had to slow down. He took so much speed into the identity that he had to slow down to turn all the way through. ORKS NUMELOPS, just, I mean, they were looking good. It just didn't happen. Yeah, that's unfortunate for them, but either way, EXALTY's map pick anyway, so we keep going. And this is one that I'm sure ORKS NUMELOPS are going to be feeling pretty good about. Panda has been setting some insane times on this throughout the course of the whole season so far.
Yeah. I mean, they're not quite BS Plus competition, but they're the next best thing here on pool as well.
Panda does hold the top 3 times on this map for the Trackmania Challenger League, so I'm not sure BS Plus competition.
There's 2 players on a team, okay? True. And Complex is not quite there.
Thanks, Link, for demonstrating.
Yeah, that first checkpoint is deceptive. It catches a lot of players out at the moment. Complex hopefully has heard what I said and is about to get angry and set a new Challenger League record. That would be enjoyable. But in the meantime, it is going to be MiQuattro in a 1v2. Very unfair.
Indeed. Unfortunately, life is unfair. Complex in first place for the time being. Panda is going to take a more inside line, have less exit speed, but join his teammate up there. MiQuattro has made the best of both worlds happen and has pulled out by about 1/10 now, but obviously needs to stay in first position to stop ORKS NUMELOPS from getting a point advantage straight away. It's all going to come down to this identity, and with these 3 players neck and neck, anything could happen.
Yeah, MiQuattro is going to set up by going a little bit inside and then a little bit wide, and it means that he is going to be gaining a little bit on Panda. Maybe not so much. Panda with a very clean turn of his own. MiQuattro is going to stay close, but is not going to manage to overtake, as that was very clean from 2 players. Less clean, ultimately, from Complex at the end, and Link's early mistake means that he rolls home to a very late 4th place as well. A round win for ORKS NUMELOPS, starting things off right.
Yeah, 105.483 is a really convincing time to start things off. Like, all things considered, that is better than most players' PBs. Like, and by most, I don't just mean, like, half of the... I mean, all but, like, 4 people can't get a time like that at all, and he's driving it in the first round.
You love to see it, and we'll see if it can continue now as well. ORKS GP NUMELOPS, I'm sure they'd love to just get this map over with quickly. It feels good when you win your own maps quickly, convincingly, and then you know, really contest your opponent on theirs, put the heat on them, make them feel the fear. And an ace here would definitely do that. ORKS GP NUMELOPS, they sit 1-2, they head hand in hand through these turns, 14 thousandths between them, but their opponents on their heels, only a couple of tenths away.
Indeed, Complex just needs to keep up with his teammate, really. I think that's the big point on this one, and for the time being is up there with him, but Link has overtaken into second position. Oh, slides out a little bit. Oh, so does Complex, though, so it's down to 2 battles going on. Panda versus the Quattro up there. Oh my god, just ignore it, it's fine. I don't think he's spun out, it's just internet, but oh no, maybe he actually did. Yeah, maybe he actually did. Somehow,
I'm pretty sure he did.
I think he respawned and the car,
oh no, not like this.
Not like
this.
Not
the last match of the season. It can't go out like this.
No, please, not now.
It's okay. It's stabilized. He's resettled. The panda is back in its natural habitat and feeling more comfortable. Just a brief fit thrown there by Panda's internet, and hopefully they will move forward. Oh no. Oh dear, Twiggy. It says pause, Twiggy. That's our
the final match of the season.
Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm sure. Okay. Bye, Twiggy.
Bye.
We can't both duck out, and the fact that you've done it first here is very unfair to me. I should have been quicker on the draw. Yeah, that seems fair. Floor cast time as Twiggy will just vibe down there. And we will hopefully get this one back underway sooner rather than later. Panda does apparently seem to be stabilizing in lobby, so hopefully it is quicker rather than later. Twiggy will give off strong little brother energy. It's just head poking over the ledge at the bottom.
Give me a controller, please. I want to play.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have any janky enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh, man.
Yeah. Whoa, so tall.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm
really, impressive.
Really cool.
Twiggy, I don't think everyone believed me earlier when I said that 0.9 recurring is equal to 1.
Podcast time, okay.
Yeah, do you know any of the proofs off the top of your head?
I can't remember the exact...
I think I can remember the logical proof, right? Okay. Which is that if you have 0.9 recurring, then if at any point...
Shut up.
Never mind, okay. You're gonna have to look it up for yourself.
Panda does not want you to get into math theory, okay?
Oh, thank God. Good. I was gonna butcher it and all the mathematicians were gonna laugh at me and it was going to be horrible.
Oh, thank God for that. We can barely... You can't even, you know, put together thousandths in a time to work out what second place's time was. I don't think it's a good idea. I could have gotten it.
I just chose not to. Leave me alone, okay? EXALTY are winning by 2 points. ORKS GP NUMELOPS will have to regain the lead that they picked up in round 1 if they want to tie this series back up.
Yeah, okay, well, here we go. Should be looking all good. Panda seems to be smooth as butter right now, like a criminal undercover. There you go, one of the most popular songs in the world. I was going to be like, hey, if anybody gets that reference, it's literally like the 3rd most streamed song in all of existence.
I don't know what song that is.
So. Spun up by BTS. Either way. Complex and Panda holding hands now through into the identity. Can they get this one done cleanly? Complex has had a little bit of trouble in sliding out here. Narrowly avoids that. Oh no, but Panda goes, cube. Complex is through, that's fine. Panda's through, that's fine. It's all good. It's a little bit janky, but they get it done for the ace.
It's ORKS GP NUMELOPS right back into it. I think it's fair to say Panda's internet A-okay on that round. Quattro very nearly managed to retain the lead for EXALTY there, but after making the overtake happen, it became pretty clear that he had overcooked it ever so slightly as he slides out himself. And I respect it. This is what I was kind of... not upset with, but I was calling Easy Dream out for not being aggressive enough when there was kind of rounds that they needed to be aggressive in, and I'd rather see a little bit of over-aggression in these rounds from both of these teams than seeing them leave points on the table by just kind of playing it too safe.
Yeah, well, speaking of aggression, Panda's going to have to get real aggressive this round. A second down already. It's definitely possible to make that kind of time up towards the identity, but obviously you're going to have to hope that there are some Not perfect lines. Well, that's not great. The line went a little outside of the track there for miQuattro. He falls back a little further. He's going to get overtaken by Panda, I'm sure, into the next split. There it is. Complex stays in first, trying to keep things ahead for Panda. I mean, Panda, by far the quickest player on this track. That time it won't happen. We got a nice view of Complex slamming headfirst into the cube. Link will take first place. You can hear Panda right behind him. Panda will zoom on through. miQuattro is there as well, and that's fine, sure. I don't know. Okay, let's forget about this round.
Let's not. That was fun. Let's watch it back. I love the history rhyming as you do see Complex slam head first into a block, and Link is like, that's the line, and does the exact same thing on the next hairpin. It's beautiful. Cube
brain rot. That's what it was. They just couldn't get their minds off of that cube right there. It's so enticing. It's incredibly bright. It's on the like any good ADHD-ridden child like myself. You just see it and you go, "That looks cool. I can't get my eyes off it."
Colorful. Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, Pool, more than I think any of the other maps in this pack, makes very good players, as all of these players are. Look like beginners at times, because
sometimes
if you haven't played this identity, all you are seeing is top level players fail to turn. They're just not turning enough and they end up hitting a block head on. That's not what's happening. They are not able to turn. These wet wheels make life very difficult. Having to set up very wide in order to try and dodge as much as possible is hard, and it's impressive that these players manage to do it as consistently as they do. Look at how close Panda got to that wall. Perfectly judged this time around.
Nice.
And it's good for a 105.371. So quick from Panda, and very impressive from miQuattro as well, only a couple of tenths behind.
Yeah, the 0.3 is what I was waiting for. Panda has now set the 4th best time in the TMCL. No other player has got below a 105.4 in the TMCL at all.
That's wild.
No other player. Panda has set 4 times that are better than a 105.4. No other player. I've got to drive that point home. In all that's by Complex, that's fine. In all of them have set anywhere close to that.
Yeah. I think what's kind of still impressive to me, despite that, is that Panda didn't have the best average finishing position before this match on Pool. Snow, BS Plus competition, despite having played the map more, got first place and higher positions more often than Panda does, which maybe does speak to a slightly higher level of inconsistency for Panda. You know, those times usually do come with a cost for players. Panda, though, is still very consistent and has been driving these times a lot and is looking to set another blinder of a time here as well. In front of miQuattro for the moment, holding on to first place. Complex is in 4th. This would be a draw if Panda can hold on to first. Most likely, with miQuattro making that touch, it is going to be Panda up into first. It's not another sub 105.4, but it is only 12 thousandths away.
I was technically slightly wrong when I said better than a 0.4. Sorry. There's a 365, but he still has the top 4 times. Okay, calm down, guys. Come on. Yeah. All right. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm getting stunted on by
can't count.
Yeah. My bad.
Yep. It is going to be 8-7, as both teams now are on track point. ORKS, GP, NUMELOPS, only a win to secure this one for them, but EXALTY could really steal this map out from underneath them, having kind of flown under the radar here. They're not setting the incredible times of Panda, but mistakes from both Panda and Complex have allowed a lot of these rounds to turn into draws. They've allowed EXALTY to just slowly build that point total up until the point where they are sitting on track point as well, and potentially sneaking this map away.
Yeah, it does seem that way. And I mean, they're close behind. It's not over for ORKS, GP, NUMELOPS whatsoever. I mean, yes, they're looking to get one player really in the top 2 just to stop EXALTY from getting this one done. That would be fine. Obviously, getting a round win is perfect as well because they close out the map right here and now. Things are looking good. Complex slides out. That's not the end of the world. Panda is still in first position. All he needs to do is not get overtaken by both EXALTY players here, and it's not over. I think it should be good for first place, and that should be pretty much... Win. I think that's the round win. No, it's not quite. Not quite. Complex is down by just a 1/10 of a second from miQuattro, who has greater speed into the final turn. Map's not over. Still possible for EXALTY to take this one, but they still do need an ace to get that one done.
Yeah, it's gotten a little bit easier for EXALTY. Not really. They needed an ace last round. They need an ace now as well. In fact, nothing has changed is the best way of looking at it. A win for EXALTY would still bring us to overtime on this one, but it's going to be so hard to get that win for EXALTY because Panda, first place is his, and you will have to prize it from the hands of his car in the wreckage of a crash somewhere on the side. Link does a spin, a full 360. We'll see if he does go for the respawn or not. We won't see it. In fact, it's happening somewhere off. A draw's not good enough. That was the only thing that has changed from this round to the last Twiggy is a draw now wins it for GP NUMELOPS.
And right now, that is what it's looking like, no matter what happens. I mean, miQuattro has to stay in first position and hope that Complex or Panda makes a mistake that's big enough for Link to get into third. Oh, well, Panda will slow down a little too much. But yeah, exactly. As you say, that is not a bad thing. With Link down by 3 seconds, it should all be over here. As long as they just keep it safe to the end, that is going to be it. Well done. That's a good play from ORKS GP NUMELOPS. They did what they had to. Get over the line. It may not have been a convincing win on this map, but it's a good decision. That
was like just a really good decision-making round from everyone. Right? Yep. Like, it was tough. Link made a mistake. That happens. Sometimes you crash, but when that happened, miQuattro knew that he needed to push, knew that first place was necessary, went on to set a 105.4, an incredibly quick time for miQuattro there as well. I think a new PB for miQuattro. So did his job of having to push after his teammate crashed. And then over on the other side, you have ORKS GP NUMELOPS recognizing what's going on and saying, we don't need first place. We can both safe in this situation because we have the gap. And I love to see it, right? It's the small things. It's the tactical decisions working out for a team. And I'm delighted to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it.
Yeah, well, we're back on grip here for the second time today. ORKS GP NUMELOPS have won this map once out of 2 times, 50% win rate, pretty much even in terms of track score against the teams they have played against. EXALTY have played it 3 times, they've won twice, and again, even, absolutely even, 25-25 on the track score. Both of them with pretty much exactly identical stats here, so again, this is going to be a real tight map.
Yeah, and I mean, what that does point to for EXALTY, the fact that they have won 2 out of 3 occasions, but sit completely even on map score, is that they give up more rounds in their wins than maybe you should be comfortable with. As a team that is picking this map in a match that determines your seeding for the postseason, they do give up a lot of points. ORKS GP NUMELOPS should be able to find their way in and not let this be a comfortable win for EXALTY. And well, we'll see how that does play out. miQuattro got so close to the pillar that I'm not sure if he touched it. He did get a little bit of a slowdown. Panda has overtaken, but Link has the better turn on the inside, and miQuattro does as well. And it's a snipe from both players. Panda drops down to 3rd place, and it's an ace.
Yeah, and this is a map where, again, Panda has that record here for the TMCL, 6 flat, but getting nowhere near that on this round. As Link and miQuattro get themselves a 1st and 2nd, a very valuable one on this one. And, I mean, yeah, this is really important. I mean, for both teams, this map is pretty much the series killer. You know, if EXALTY take it, obviously, you know, it's their map pick, which is expected, but at the same time, with ORKS being so close statistically in this one, it's kind of both teams' map pick, and that is the case for both second picks for both teams. Again, these 2 teams statistically over all maps are very similar. Oh, Panda. I'm not going to say the 3 words that I was thinking of for that one because that would make this stream 18+, but definitely did something with the poll.
Yep. He will leave it in the past as miQuattro holds on to 1st place. Link is going to be in 2nd for the moment, and EXALTY could just extend this lead for all the talk of how close these 2 teams are, for all the talk of the fact that ORKS GP NUMELOPS do manage to pick up a lot of points, that EXALTY bleed away a lot of points on this map despite having winning record. It's set to be a 6-0 after only 2 rounds. This map already out of hand for ORKS GP NUMELOPS.
Yeah, and these are the kinds of times that you see when a team isn't really pushing too hard, but is able to get rounds nicely. You know, a 102.1 is a quick time, but it's not like you're trying to push for anything. EXALTY are taking it pretty chill at the moment and getting it done, and that's a really good mindset to be in as you move on to your 2nd map pick, is just, you know, not trying too hard to get stuff going. If you know, if you're on your 2nd map pick and you are really pushing, that's a, you know, a scary place to be in. So this is nice for EXALTY. It's going to give them some time to cool down after the first 2 maps, and hopefully they'll be in a good headspace heading into ORKS' 2nd map pick.
Yep, things just flowing well for them at the moment. And trying to keep that lead. An ace back the other way for ORKS GP and NUMELOPS might be the only way they can get things through. Quattro, does he have the speed for the speed check, though, as well? I guess we'll find out at the next checkpoint. He did. Yeah, makes it through cleanly, but will still be moving a little bit slower than the other 3 cars and should expect to bleed a little bit more time over these next few turns as Complex and Panda hold on to first and second. And with one of the blue cars out of the picture, it's up to Link to try and prevent the counter race. It's up to Link to try and keep this lead as big as possible for the moment. And even a single point from Link here would move the team to 7, put them on track point, but it's not going to come through. Whoa. Good enough from Complex and Panda. 8,000th between them. And EXALTY, they're denied track point. The lead is shrunk to 3, and ORKS GP NUMELOPS will not go quietly into that good night just yet. Yeah, real good to answer back from them. I mean, look, setting I mean, obviously they did push for that one, but they were setting times that were better than EXALTY's times on this one so far. So looking to well, I mean, Panda does have the TMCL record, looking to try and improve on that at the very least here. And EXALTY not quite having the nice cushion that they had before, but at the very least now they know that if they keep it clean, I mean, there's a possibility that they still keep getting those times. Again, neither team has a massive lead in terms of best times either. Complex doesn't make it through the gap, and again, that'll give EXALTY just that little bit of extra calmness as they move on forward. It really is, I think, you know, looking down the stats, the only place there's a massive difference between these two teams on this map is in the average times. It is going to be another crash going through, quite a few of them in this round, but EXALTY have average times of about 104.197, which, look, I mean, it's going to be slower than your best by a lot, but it's a full second then down to ORKS GP NUMELOPS, who average a 105, and that does imply they crash a little bit more, they make a few more mistakes. That's a 101.523, and while they may have slower average times, that is Panda improving the TMCL record by a further 800ths. That is pretty impressive right there. Panda almost getting a full 10th on his own record here. And again, Panda seems to love holding all of the top 3 times on a map. Just absolutely, you know, did it on pool. Great. Now done it on, although I think he has the top 2, not the top 3, but on grip doing the same thing here. Insane. I mean, the fact that they are 7-5 down, I mean, it shows that Panda is incredibly comfortable on this one. Complex, not quite as much. Yeah, it's been an incredible season for Panda so far, and we'll see how that continues. This is looking like it might be another ace for ORKS GP NUMELOPS, and that would be 2 aces apiece, plus the round win for ORKS GP NUMELOPS, and all of a sudden, they are fully looking to be the team to beat in these final rounds on grip. This is a little bit awkward from Panda, but manages to regain with the release. Whoa. And hold on, Complex slides out fully. Panda will still pick up first place, you would assume, from this position. And Complex is far enough ahead of me, Quattro, that this should still be a first and a third, but it means really EXALTY moving to 8, it means ORKS GP NUMELOPS moving to 7, and it means that they don't quite have the lead. It's still EXALTY's map to lose. Yeah, I mean, closing the gap, still EXALTY ahead. You know, just got to get over the line, figuratively, once here to get that one done. Get that round win, and again, Link and McQuattro both seem to be able to set good times here. It's not a problem in that regard. It's just whether or not they can both keep it clean all the way through. And so far, you know, all teams seem to be going for that little that special line. Saves you a couple of tenths. Obviously, very, very important, a couple of tenths, especially in the Challenger League. So that's why everybody goes for it. I can't tell if you're being facetious, given that a lot of these rounds have been decided by margins of like 10 seconds. Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't being fully serious, but still, I mean, there is a... there are plenty of close rounds where those tenths do absolutely matter as well, but this is another round that's going to be decided in some ways by quite a lot more than that. ORKS GP NUMELOPS have found themselves on 7 points. They do find themselves with a chance to ace and close out this map, to steal EXALTY's pick, and if McQuattro crashes now, which he does get very close to, then it is all but over. But everyone is cleanly through onto the identity, but not all the way around the first corner. It's all over. Twiggy, Complex and Panda can afford to take it. Safe. Complex gets very close to that edge, but it is in fact Jover. 101.8 and 101.9 are the times. ORKS GP NUMELOPS move to 2 and 1.
Oh man, and yeah, that's EXALTY's map pick. But yeah, again, I did say the statistically very close together, so I don't think it really was EXALTY's map to take in a sense. Again, Airwalk kind of similar in terms of statistics. They both have relatively kind of similar stuff going on. Both of them don't really win this map. That's the best way I can put it. ORKS NuMeLOPS have 1 win, but their track score differential is -3. EXALTY have no wins. Their track score differential is -9. Like, it's very similar, honestly. There are really nothing separating them. ORKS NuMeLOPS have a slightly better ace percentage, but a lower average time.
And this is a 4th visit for both of these teams to the map as well. We'll see who comes out on top, who gets to improve a little bit. EXALTY looking to fight their way back into this match. If ORKS NuMeLOPS win here, we are potentially looking at another 5-map series and only 2 maps picked up by losing teams over the course of Playday 6 and 7 combined. That'd be 8 matches with only 2 maps picked up by the losing team, Twiggy.
Yeah, well, ORKS NuMeLOPS now, they can smell blood in the water. They just need to get to that 4-map scoreline, get things done. EXALTY now trying to take back their opponent's map pick to get back on level pegging with them. It's a tough situation to be in the last game of the season when you're playing for seeding heading on forward. But they can do it. I mean, EXALTY are a different team to what we saw in Stage 1, or at the very least, maybe their opponents have changed, and they've taken full advantage of it at the moment. It's the first time they've been out of that bottom 2. Can they keep this going and just make their position in the league as good as possible? Can they get back ORKS NuMeLOPS' map pick? This is going to be a good start for them if they get the round win. They don't quite. Everybody finishes within half a second of each other. Everything changing in midair as we move on forward. McQuattro set to 108.778, a very convincing time, but nobody had an unconvincing time there.
Yeah, that's one of those rare moments where we see the head bonk on that final beam at the finish line actually matter. Panda hit it and was a little bit slower finishing than he would have been otherwise. I believe that did lead to the snipe on the finish line as well. And it is what turned that round into a draw instead of a win for ORKS NuMeLOPS ultimately, as they find themselves 1-1. They are the team looking to move ahead in this match. And of course, if they do manage to win by anything other than a map 7 win, they do lock up 4th place in this regular season. But a map 7 win wouldn't be good enough. So the fact that they have taken away one of EXALTY's map picks already, big in terms of their potential standings come the end of this match.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that carries on here. These rounds are looking like they're going to be very close every single time. Both of these teams are putting on together a show. Oh, Panda had to release a little bit to get away from the pole, but more importantly, Complex slams straight into one. McQuattro extends his lead a little bit on Panda. Link gets a little closer. Can he get the overtake done in midair? Goes for a lower line, bounces up a little higher on that final one. Panda will get that finish way quicker than Link because of that. Complex doesn't make it to the finish line, but more importantly, EXALTY will get that lead extended.
Yeah, they managed to push things back. They are looking against their opponents who've taken a map away from them to do the same thing. Long way to go still. Only 3-2, but it is a lead to EXALTY as they are right back in the swing of things here. And of course, in much the same way that ORKS NuMeLOPS would like to win this in less than 7 maps, EXALTY would love to win this match at all, as any win, no matter when it comes, is going to be putting them into 4th place. And that means that the more maps they can pick up now, if they can even force a map 7, then ORKS NuMeLOPS really have not much left to play for compared to EXALTY.
Yeah, well, once again, another round where everybody is quite tightly packed together on this one, and things even up towards a 10th once again. I mean, these two teams are both pushing as hard as they can. You can see that with the times that they've been setting over the course of the last 3 maps, plus the way that they're driving here so close together. I think you can see how much both of these teams want this win.
Yeah, they are absolutely pushing. Complex will drop a little bit back through this section of the map. Panda holding on to the lead, but releasing a little bit more in midair. Going for that earlier landing. Is still holding on to that lead, but it's only by a hair and is wider and slower around the outside on that final turn. And it's going to be a race between 3 of these players to the finish line. Link is lower. Is Link too low? Link is too low. Panda's the quickest through the air. Snipes both McQuattro and Link. And Complex, doesn't matter. Just cruising home on a Sunday drive as his teammate takes first.
Yeah, I mean, look, a 0.8 generally we consider a winning time on this one.
Yeah,
Usually,
absolutely.
I would say, you know, getting anything more than that is, you know, that's record-setting time for the Challenger League. That's just really, really good. We only really see Scandia setting, you know, round-on-round times like that. So the fact that, you know, that's being pushed out of every player every single round is being really, really exciting to watch. And I mean, this is wild. Pretty much a tenth between the top 3 in every round, apart from this one.
Yeah, as this one, not so much. This is EXALTY's round to lose now, for sure, as Link and miQuattro hold on to their lead. Complex is close enough behind that maybe you should be a little bit nervous for Link as he drifts further back from his teammate and back into Complex's clutches. The gap is getting closed down to less than a tenth over the last couple of checkpoints. But EXALTY still hold on to the 1-2. They're still in acing position. No reason to panic just yet.
Yeah, should be absolutely fine. miQuattro has a good lead going on, and if you can stay in first, that does most of the hard work for the team. Link, I think, angles his car on purpose a little bit there to make sure he doesn't slam into the right pole there. Complex right behind now could get that overtake done. Really needs to get that overtake done for the team here. Goes for a really wide line, yeah. I could see it working. You know, you're going for the closest part of the finish. It didn't work out. Link played it a little safer, got there safely, and Panda and Complex tried their best to get back, but I mean, you got to risk it when you are
you were in the position where you were getting aced anyway. Like, what's the worst case scenario here? You miss and you get aced. Great, that's happening if I don't risk it. So again, good decision making. It ends up looking a little bit wild. It's unfortunate. It makes it look like Complex was going for a TMNF bug finish underneath the finish line almost. But it was the right decision to just fully try and risk that, get as low as flat on a jump as far to the left as possible. It's unfortunate it didn't pay off. EXALTY with a better just drive on the rest of the map in that last round, forcing that risk, have now moved to 7-3 and are looking to steal this map back away from ORKS GP NUMELOPS.
Yeah, and right now you're seeing come into play what the stats tell us about ORKS and EXALTY. EXALTY are a more consistent team. They may not set faster times, but they are a more consistent team coming on through round over round. Right now, ORKS GP NUMELOPS in first and second place, proving me a little bit wrong, but that's, you know, things happen. Changes happen, and ORKS GP NUMELOPS looking to set an ace right back, try and make things as even as possible. Can they get it cleanly on the identity? There have been a lot of misses coming on through from both of these players on this identity. A lot of slowdowns as well. Link is going to try and get the overtake done. A really low line, but bounces high and to the right on that final jump. And there it is. Complex and Panda answer back with their own ace. Make it 7-6.
Oh, they are back close, only a single point behind. EXALTY on our first map in this series did manage to hold on and in the tight situation close things out. We'll see if it can be any different for ORKS GP NUMELOPS this time around if they can manage to ice up and close out Airwalk, move to 3-1, give themselves a track point, put themselves on the edge of a 4th place finish in the regular season.
Well, now Complex and Panda may have warmed up into this one, and you'd hope that they would. Obviously, their map pick, once again, heading on forward, they need to at least show that they're able to do this one. But again, the statistics tell us that these two teams are so evenly matched that a map pick for either of them doesn't really mean anything. They were going to pick each other's maps anyway, probably, and on every map they have very similar times, so it's not like any team gets a massive advantage out of it. So right now, ORKS GP NUMELOPS just holding on to things so that they can get that cushion of one extra map over EXALTY, head into map 5 with the match point for themselves. Can miQuattro get an overtake done on Complex and force at the very least a draw for these two teams? That would be very important. He overjumps the first bumper. He was going for so much speed. It did not work out. Can Link get anything done to stop these two from getting through? He gets second place and a respawn has come through from Complex. So miQuattro didn't make it. Oh, he didn't. That was close. That was real close. It's fine. 108.7 is a real good time from Panda. Everybody else finding it a little more difficult to get into the finish, but
yeah, very, very good time from Panda, and everyone else also drove times that were recorded by the end of that round for sure. The fact that ORKS GP NUMELOPS don't win that round again makes life a little bit scarier. This is very similar to how things looked on pool as well, where they were creeping close, they couldn't get the wins, and it ultimately was a loss. And a crash from Complex early on means that this could be it for EXALTY if Link can get an overtake, if miQuattro can get an overtake, if Panda can't hold on to first place, it is done.
Yeah, Panda now well out ahead of McQuattro and Link. His teammate down by 5 seconds, needs to maintain that position right now, because if he gets overtaken by one of these players and Complex stays in 4th place, that is it. EXALTY win this map, and we go over to map 5 with an even scoreline, which is not really what ORKS want. Obviously, they spent a lot of energy probably beating EXALTY on their own map pick, and now if they get that put back in their face, it's just going to be a bit awkward for them. So Link now trying to get that overtake done. He's the closest player. McQuattro's down by a second. He's not going to get that overtake happening. Panda needs to try and play it safe enough, but he gets it done, and McQuattro was really pushing for that overtake. It did not work out whatsoever. A really good time from Panda. We've seen that exact time 3 times today, twice from Scrappy, now once from Panda as well, I'm pretty sure. And unfortunately, that is another draw, 9-8. It's not over yet.
I think Scrappy's
it was a 5-9-9, wasn't it?
5-9-9s. Yeah, Panda exactly a 10th behind that time that Scrappy said twice. But it is another draw, and EXALTY are only 1 point away now, in much the same way as it was previously. The only thing that has changed from the last round is that now a draw wins for EXALTY, where previously it just moved us a little bit closer to that state. ORKS GP NuMeLOPS, they need a win in order to bring us to overtime. They need an ace to win outright. They've had at least one ace already. They could do it, but it's going to be hard with Complex falling behind. Yeah.
This is a really important round for both teams now. Over the course of the whole series, they have been at each other's throats. It's been a really tight competition. And I mean, that's just exemplified by the scoreline right now, by, I mean, the times that each of these teams have been setting right up against each other here. Panda and McQuattro pushing for first each other. Complex and Link at the back pushing for third.
It's 2 separate fights, but those fights are close enough together that they will impact each other at the end of this round, as Panda does hold on. And McQuattro, if there is a mistake, you have to bet that Complex is close enough to punish it as well. McQuattro a little bit quicker into this jump. Nearly over jumped again, was an issue last time around, but it is perfectly judged from McQuattro. So much quicker landing on them. Is it going to be the catch up? Not quite. McQuattro does what is necessary by sending it into that identity.
Yeah, 108.629 is the exact kind of time that you need to be setting to beat Panda's, what, 6-5 or 6, what was it, 6-8, 6-8-2. There you go. That's what it was. I mean, that is, again, really good times from both of those top 2 players. EXALTY pushed to the brink there to get that one done. So really, really great from EXALTY there to just get over the line. Look, these 2 teams, again, one of the best matchups that we're seeing so far in terms of pure skill. Very even, and it just makes for a great watching experience.
Yeah. Guaranteed at least map 6 at this point, which means we head to Vortex knowing that we will see control afterwards as well.
Yep.
Time for one of these teams to seize control of their own destiny here, Twiggy, as well. Put themselves onto match point. This was EXALTY's pick, but both of our last 2 maps have gone against their picker.
Yeah, well, EXALTY are the only team out of the 2 that have won this map. 25% win rate, 1 out of 4 they have got, and their track score exactly even on all cases. But ORKS GP NuMeLOPS are not comfortable on this map. 0 out of 3 times they have won this, and 15-30 is their overall track score here. Their best time of 105.8 is really not contending with any other team whatsoever. They are the slowest team on this track, both in terms of average times and in terms of their best times. So this is probably where EXALTY can really get something done and get this back in their favor.
Yeah, time to drive this match home. Time to try and put ORKS GP NuMeLOPS fully in the mud, and a good first round. An ace would be a great way to do it here, as McQuattro has first, Link has second. Complex, though, is fast on the outside, managing to overtake over the beam. McQuattro is very shaky up front, but does manage to keep the car centered as well. And is right behind Link. It's very close, but not close enough. 105.9 to kick things off here. Solid time and a solid round win for EXALTY.
Yeah, really, really good there, EXALTY. I mean, look, both teams are coming into this one. You can tell their hands are warm. They're getting going. Like, the last 2 maps have been brilliant in terms of just pure consistency going on. At the very least, everybody has been really close together by the finish line, and that's what we love to see here. We have, over the course of the past 2 days, not had enough of that. I don't think.
No,
We've had
absolutely not.
very, very, very one-sided games coming on through. This is a breath of fresh air for us in terms of, you know, the final couple of weeks of this competition. Right now, Link and McQuattro in first and second position, both taking very different lines on this one. McQuattro goes for the outside turn on the dirt, plus the bug slide there on the reactor booster. Link goes for neither of those things, goes for a very vanilla kind of line coming on through. It works. You know, it's consistent.
Yep.
It's a lot slower than McQuattro's line, but it's consistent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it has the potential to be a lot slower. I think that outside line we have seen has the potential to be very quick, but it kind of rarely actually ends up being so, at least in the Challenger League. It's more often kind of neck and neck with the players taking that slightly safer line. It's risk-reward, right? It's relatively medium risk for a medium reward, I would say. McQuattro will cross the line, improving on the time from last round. It's 105.8 this time around, but Link improving as well. Will get second place instead of third, turning things into a 5-1 scoreline for EXALTY. Great score to start off on, as always.
That could have been a another just round win for EXALTY there. Panda, however, had an awkward entry into the water. An entry that you can't really control all that well, obviously. You're coming straight out of a bobsleigh into it, and oh, where did Link go?
Link hit a box, and that box is very strong. It stops the car dead.
Well, like pretty much everything in this game, in fact. No destructibles.
Yeah.
Interestingly. We're not in, you know, games where you can knock over a lamppost with a touch of a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out,
should
lampposts a little more
in Trackmania.
A little more hard to knock over than you would think from playing, you know, RPG games.
True. We'll see if ORKS NuMeLOPS can knock EXALTY down in this round. There you go. I got there at the end.
Yeah,
this would be back within 1 point. A story that we've seen a lot. It feels like EXALTY have been the team acing first, building up that lead, and then ORKS in kind of the back half of the map managed to find a way to pick up an ace of their own and get right back within a single point. And they're looking to do it here. Complex gets close. Wobbles on the way out as well. Is going to be very high on the exit here. Forced to go a little bit slower towards the finish, but it is still quick enough. It's great times from both members of ORKS NuMeLOPS. It's an ace of their own. It's a 1 point difference.
Yeah, that's absolutely great there. I mean, ORKS NuMeLOPS just pouncing on EXALTY's mistakes there, really. McQuattro didn't make a massive mistake, but it was enough. A little slide out after the water just gave him an awkward line. And, well, I mean, Link just had a mistake at the start of the map. ORKS NuMeLOPS drive consistently. They get it done. That's what we like to see coming on through. We're going to see a lot more of these closer rounds, though, because it seems like when there is no big mistake happening, everybody sets very similar times. A 0.8 seems to be the first place time here.
You're absolutely right. It's been consistent, just not consistent from players. It's consistent in the lobby in terms of overall what these four players are managing to do. And that is, as you say, first place getting a 105.8 pretty consistently. Second place being a couple of tenths down on that. And then mistakes costing other people more or less, depending on where they're made, when they're made, and how bad they are as well. McQuattro and Link are pretty close behind Panda this time around. And behind them, Complex is very close. This has the potential to be a round that swings the score in one direction or the other. Also has the potential, with where the cars are lined up at the moment, to do absolutely nothing at all.
Complex has more speed than Link.
Teams, but Complex does have more speed than Link. Goes higher up the wall. He's going to be chasing. He's gaining. He's not going to get there. The inside line favors favors Link, who manages to hold on by 0.04 of a second. That's 105.7 up at the top as the overall times creep down and down in this lobby. They are getting very quick.
Yeah, we are getting to the point where, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we would have broken TMCL records now. It used to be a 0.5 pretty much that we were on. It's been lowered to a 0.39 by Dexter recently, but it's looking real good from both of these teams. You know what? To be honest, in the past couple of days, these two teams have looked the best. Apart from, I guess, Sprout's performance today, everybody else has been way more inconsistent and with worse times than these two teams have. So I respect the fight in them to keep this kind of, you know, quality into the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
I completely agree. They've looked great, and it's always good to start to peak a little bit as you enter the playoffs, rather than, you know, a couple of weeks too early or a couple of weeks too late for that. And these players definitely do look to be peaking a little bit at the moment. Panda is all the way out in front, and we got a freeze frame of it just to see it, to admire it, to enjoy it, and we'll manage to enjoy it all the way to the finish line. Miquatro's going to be slow. Miquatro's going to be slow, but Complex is definitely not going to be close enough to catch back up. 105.5 this time around. The lobby gets faster, and it's on Panda's shoulders.
But the lobby does not get any closer. We stay with that 1 point difference. EXALTY up 7-6 now. We're starting to get to the point where everybody is going to have to start thinking, okay, we're going to need to set point fours now, honestly, to start guaranteeing a win here. And that means people are going to be pushing. It means we're probably going to get more mistakes. We really haven't got many mistakes so far here in Vortex. It's been very, I'm not going to say casual driving, but it's been very, it's been weirdly normal, you know?
Yeah. Ooh, it's been one player around making that mistake, I think. They've been swapping up who it is. This time around, it's Complex. He's going to be finishing potentially roughly the same as last round, 5 to 10 seconds behind on this one. Panda will touch on the checkpoint on the way through, but it actually just kind of helped straighten the car out with the reactor boost on that time around. It's worked out. Miquatro does still have first place. Panda is a very close second at the moment. Link a few tenths away. Complex, that mistake on the quarter pipe jump at the start, costing a full 5 seconds, is hoping for a big mistake from someone else.
Yeah, you can see the pushing going on, though, here, and Panda is trying to push back up to first position here. He's going to have to get a really nice exit on this one to take more speed into the identity. He does not, however, get more speed than Miquatro heading on through, so as long as Miquatro keeps it safe, it's fine. Or Link is the one this time to get an awkward exit. It should be fine. Complex is down by 5 seconds. Again, we're setting 0.6s consistently here, but it's a round win from EXALTY. They extend that lead by 1 more point. They get themselves to 9-7, and, well, we're going to have a round winner here.
Yep, good old 9-7. Oh, faithful guaranteeing that we can't go to an overtime. Is that disappointing? Is it very exciting? Really depends on your point of view. Personally, I love it. I'm a big fan of having winners and forcing players to realize that this is guaranteed the last round. Adds that little bit of spicy extra pressure as well. It's up to ORKS GP NUMELOPS. It's really up to Complex, who's crashed in the last 2 rounds, to improve that performance and manage to catch back up to where Panda has been for the last little while.
Yeah, but obviously the pressure is on to not make any mistakes. Oh, it's okay. He's got reactor booster. He'll stay with the pack just about. He loses a bit of time, though, after clipping his wheel on that circle there. Link, uncharacteristically well ahead. And yeah, again, water bounce. Unfortunate. Again, not much you can do about it after coming out of the exit of a bobsleigh. But, I mean, technically, there is a consistent route for that one. You just have to be very lucky and very good at setting up into a bobsleigh to get that one done. I think, well, not very lucky, slightly lucky to get it done, and it should look over here. EXALTY will move on to series point, and this is a big one for them.
Yeah, I mean, again, a reminder that EXALTY got eliminated after stage 1. Yeah. They were not in the Challenger League, and then Shiname Racing gave up their spot. EXALTY made it back in as the highest placed team from the regional who didn't make it through, and here we are with EXALTY set to finish in 4th place and looking very strong doing so. On the other side of that as well, though, we do have ORKS GP NUMELOPS, who you do have to say had one match this season where Panda's internet did not work. Yes. And they are sitting at 3-3 as a result. Who knows what would have happened? It's very possible they would have gone on to lose to Amino's Sun anyway, but it is definitely a little bit of a what if for this team. And the fact that they've still made playoffs is wonderful. We don't have to wonder about what would have happened if, you know, they'd been eliminated instead. Would have been terrible. But it does mean that maybe they are a little bit of a dark horse for some people. Their scoreline heading into playoffs is not going to tell the full story.
This map is a little scary for both teams because, as you can see up in the top left and right, Panda currently holds the world record for this map by quite a long way over any other Challenger League team, by 2 tenths over any other Challenger League team. However, EXALTY have never lost to this map. 5 for 5 they are on this map. Every time they picked it, they've won it. Obviously, their ace percentage is 25%. ORKS are statistically not bad at this map whatsoever. 3 out of 4 times they have won it. And again, they do have the world record here. But round on round, they are slower than EXALTY.
Yeah. Again, it's that risk reward, push hard, risk crashing out. The times are good. They're very strong from Panda in particular, and this is looking to be another good time to start things off here. It helps to have Complex in the back pocket as well, playing wingman at the moment, holding off Link through at least the first jump. Into the second jump we go on control. Panda has got a full slowdown and will have to double respawn. And that means looking to be, I was going to say a draw. Nope. That's an ace as Panda and Complex both fail on the identity. EXALTY at 3-2 on the overall map score. Move to 3-0 up to start off control.
Complex went into orbit.
Yeah.
Bro bumped his nose so hard that he actually got sprung. Call it ORKS Airlines because both of them managed to do that. That is absolutely wild. EXALTY get an ace to start things off. That's gotta feel horrible.
Sprung like MC, no, not MC Hammer, it's Sir Mix-a-Lot. Yep. EXALTY are 3-0 up, and ORKS GP NUMELOPS will now look to strike back. The thing is, on pure pace, they were the faster team that round, right? They were up by a decent amount. Sure, there were small mistakes from EXALTY as well. They were, you know, making them fall behind. But ORKS GP and NumeLops were both on for very good times in that last round. I think it would have probably been a 1:10.5 at worst from Panda before that slowdown. It was looking very, very quick. And that is, as you said at the top of this map, hard to challenge for EXALTY, but not impossible, as miQuattro is immediately proving here, is right alongside Panda on pace right now. Link has made a mistake that has fallen down by 5 seconds, and Complex, about a second behind, leaves these two out in a battle on their own.
Well, it's going to be real neck and neck through to the finish line for Panda and miQuattro here, both taking a similar amount of speed into this final jump. It's going to be real tight. miQuattro goes a little lower. He's going to get more exit speed. He's going to get over the line first. It's a 1:10.5. Panda not able to keep up this time around. Again, Panda's average time on this map is nowhere near his 1:10.2. In fact, that was a anomaly, I would call it, for Panda. Fair enough. I mean, it's a world record. You'd consider it. It would have to be an anomaly to be a world record, especially for a Challenger League team. But yeah, Panda has not really been able to replicate that kind of round most of the time. And that's the problem here for ORKS GP NumeLops. They have the worst average time on this map out of every team.
It's, very Spiders George moment for Panda there, right? Panda is an average player on this map. His world record is a statistical outlier and should not be counted.
It's been a while since I've heard Spiders George.
Yeah, I love Spiders George. Do you not love Spiders George?
I love it. I think it actually has a Wikipedia page now. It's one of the very rare memes that actually has a Wikipedia page.
Complex. Very close to the wall, touches the wall. miQuattro again right up here with Panda as well, looking to try and regain a first place again. That win for miQuattro in the last round was so important, prevented ORKS GP NumeLops from beginning to close the gap to EXALTY here. And EXALTY, if they can keep that gap as wide open as possible for as long as possible, then they will feel good about starting to close this one out. Here come both Link and Complex. Link is too low. He must be too low. He's not too low.
Nope.
He's going to make the overtake. Nope. So is miQuattro. It's a draw. Panda wins the round, but Complex slow through the final jump.
Man. Yeah, that was one of those situations where you're like, well, Link has done it. He's gone way too close to the sun there. Nope.
Yeah.
No, absolutely perfect on that final jump. Got the overtake done, as well as miQuattro as well. For EXALTY, going to be feeling good. Every single draw they get is just getting them closer to that finish line and keeping 3 points at bay. ORKS GP NumeLops, they are feeling good about this one. They are the one on series point here. They finish this one off. They get into the top 4 of the league after... Oh, no. Oh, that was heartbreaking. He slowly fell off the edge. EXALTY are now in the driver's seat once again.
Lion King-esque fall from the edge there.
Long live the king.
Long live the king. And the king's name right now is miQuattro, winning rounds back-to-back a couple of times there and looking very, very quick indeed. Uncontested on this round for sure. Link gets the car back under control much quicker than Complex does and is in uncontested second place now as miQuattro cruises off into the distance. And it is a far, far distance indeed, over a second clear from second place. Oh. Never mind. miQuattro full crashes. It's up to Link to pick up first place instead, but Complex is right here. Complex will have to double respawn on that exit, and that means Link should still be coming out with first place. It could still be the ace as well. It depends on how quick miQuattro is. Complex, you have to double respawn, buddy. Not going for it means that miQuattro will take second, and it is the ace for EXALTY.
I never want to hear Link slander again. Brilliant performance so far on control, putting together a lot of first and second places at the moment, and that culminates in an ace right now. 2 more points will do it for EXALTY. Will get them into 4th seed for this Trackmania Challenger League regular season.
And will drop ORKS GP NUMELOPS down into 6th seed. Sprout taking 5th, and that would mean Sprout versus EXALTY in one half of the bracket. It would mean BS Plus competition versus ORKS GP NUMELOPS in the other half of the competition. Definitely an exciting potential set of matchups there, as we'll see. We still have to finish this round. We still have EXALTY looking to close things out. 8-2 is a scoreline you should be capable of closing things out from. But on the other hand, it's only 2 aces away from a tied match.
Yeah, well, here we go. Panda pushes on forward, and very quick exit there. Oh, but he couldn't slow down in time. I'm not sure if that was a no slide or whether he couldn't get his wheels uniced in time, but either way, not able to take the turn quickly, and it sends Complex, MiQuattro, and Link through into 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Complex takes up the mantle of 1st position. Can MiQuattro or Link get this one done? Link's identity has been real clean so far. Can he get an overtake done of 1/10? It's not looking likely. Complex should stay in 1st position and stave off these players. Just about gets it done. MiQuattro gets a better exit, but not quite good enough to get 1st position. It's a draw, but ORKS GP NUMELOPS now need 2 aces in a row.
2 aces is, you know, doable. It's maybe not likely, but it's doable. They could make the comeback happen. It's going to be very, very tough, though, EXALTY. They just need a single point. A single car in the top 2 in either of the next 2 rounds books the playoffs match against Sprout. It finishes things out completely and finishes the regular season off entirely for Stage 2 of the Trackmania Challenger League here. That's a mistake from Link. It is opening the door, at the very least. There's a sniff of an ace in the wind at the moment for ORKS GP NUMELOPS. Complex will still have to find an overtake on MiQuattro to make it happen, though.
Yeah, well, here we go. Panda stays in 1st position once again. The fastest time on this track by 2/10 over every other Challenger League player. Again, it should be able to pull out these times, has shown that you can pull out world record breaking times here, and right now is when they need it. Complex has been consistently getting decent times here. Panda has been the one, in a sense, dragging the team down. Can he get it done this time? MiQuattro needs to try and get this overtake on Complex right here. That would close things out. Maybe gets a better exit. Not quite. Complex has less speed, but he crosses the line first. Panda set to 1:10.498. The best time we've seen in this series so far. 9-6 a scoreline. It's not over yet.
That's one. One more for ORKS GP NUMELOPS brings us back to a tie match. And there would still be work to be done at that point, but it is 1 round at a time at the moment. Complex and Panda, great round last time around. Big step up from Panda to set the best time we have seen so far in this match on Control. And both of them starting off strongly once again here. MiQuattro, though, does have the lead. Link is very much still here. There's essentially been nothing to separate these 4 players just yet in this round until that uphill turn where Link has now dropped down ever so slightly, and Complex is starting to lose touch with MiQuattro and Panda as well. It is this bobsleigh where the wheat will be separated from the chaff for the first time. No. And Complex is most definitely chaff on this round. Panda holds on to 1st, but 1st will not be good enough without a teammate in 2nd.
That looks like it may be over now. MiQuattro and Link just have to play it safe, and this is not an identity where you really need to go for low, risky lines. You can just go for a safe setup here, which it seems like both players are getting good. Again, Link goes real wide there on that one, gets not much exit speed whatsoever. It doesn't matter. They don't need anything more than 2nd place here. It's done. In fact, MiQuattro snipes first, just to put salt in the wounds, and EXALTY managed to win this one out. They have gone from not even getting into the Challenger League, not even making it through the promo relegation tournament last season, to coming 4th in the Challenger League this time around. Yeah,
and looking at it another way as well, they beat BS Plus competition. That's one of the teams ahead of them. Up against Omino's Sun, I believe they did end up winning as well. No, they lost. They did lose that match, but they have beaten a team ahead of them. They definitely have the potential to beat a team ahead of them. The times have been fantastic from MiQuattro, and credit to Link. I think, you could look at the performance in Stage 1 of the team and say a lot of it was that Link just did not look all that quick a lot of the time. Has massively stepped up this time around, is looking much, much better here in Stage 2.
Definitely. Quick reminder for everybody: in 1 hour's time, 1 hour and 3 minutes time, we are going to have the Last Americas Regional coming up, the NTSA Regional happening. So don't go anywhere. You know, go get some food, get dinner. It's about that time, and then come back to the stream. But yeah, it's been a beautiful regular season. I think you know, maybe the last couple weeks were a bit lackluster, but we finished things off with a great series, and that's all that matters.
That is it. We do indeed finish things up. Alternate Attacks finish with an undefeated stage 2, 7-0. They only gave up 7 individual maps on their way to that scoreline as well. That is 1 map per series, essentially. That is terrifying for anyone who has to play them. And who has to play them? Well, it is going to be Omino Sun in that upper bracket with them. A 5-2 scoreline for them. A strong finish against Easy Dream and EXALTY here on the final day of matches, giving them that 2nd position. And then running down the rest of the leaderboard, we are going to have EXALTY after that win in 3rd place. It is, no, that's an absolute lie. It's BS Plus Competition in 3rd place. It's EXALTY in 4th. It's Sprout in 5th. It is ORKS, GP, and NUMELOPS in 6th. And Easy Dream and Ascent, unfortunately, will be heading down to that promotion relegation tournament later on in the year, having to defend their spot. Final thoughts on the regular season, Twiggy? I mean, you said it. It's a lot of fun. It has been very exciting. It got a little bit more one-sided at the end there, as teams kind of found their rhythms and found their maximum pace, and a little bit maybe less practice crept into the last play week here as well.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's been a more spread out season than it was last time around, but I think it's just been as entertaining for sure. I think Alternate Attacks are just looking like a beautiful team to watch week in, week out. I think that's a big takeaway from this one. But everybody else is really neck and neck with each other in the mid-table kind of area, which should be really fun to watch. You know, we have unfortunately lost Easy Dream once again to the promo relegation tournament now, and Ascent didn't manage to stake their claim on TMCL like they would have liked to after coming up through that one. But everybody else is looking really close in terms of skill, so I'm really looking forward to the playoffs.
Yeah, so am I. Unfortunately, I won't be here to watch them. I will be on a boat somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but I hope everyone has a lovely time watching them. I look forward to seeing how things have played out when I get back within range of an internet connection, and I've had a great time here for the regular season. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined us. Thank you so much for having us on, and congratulations to the teams that have made their way into the playoffs once again. Alternate Attacks with that undefeated season, the team to beat as we get ready for the Challenger League playoffs. And someone will see you here. See you then.